Do
we have captions?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
a good reader.
Like a green. There's the image.
Kids starting out podcasts in the basement.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's recording?
Yes, we're recording.
Okay, I make a motion, we open the meeting. Is there a second, please?
I second.
Roll-
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Hi.
Trustee Limbeck.
Hi.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, is there any board member who has a conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding the items on the agenda this evening?
I do not. I do not.
I do not.
I have a conflict with number 4, the bed tax.
We're removing that from the agenda tonight.
I do not have a conflict.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Okay, I do not have a conflict as well. Okay, would you please give us the open meeting compliance
Sure.
certification guidelines?
We're going to keep it short and sweet. If a member in the audience wishes to address the board, please give your name and address unless protected by law. If you're on Zoom, please raise your hand if you'd like to ask the question directly to the board. If you would like me to ask the question, please put it in the Q&A. I do not respond to anything in the chat section. Outside of that, let's have a quick and friendly meeting.
With the utmost efficiency. Okay, with that being said, Trustee Limbeck, you are excused from getting up and turning around. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And why don't we have our village clerk take us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Is there any public comment this evening before we start the agenda? Anybody online
We have participants online.
or, but anybody wishing to comment? Okay,
Yes, we have a hand raised.
okay. Name and address?
One.
Are you
You're allowed,
able to hear me?
yes.
Hi, my name is Alex Del Monte. I live at 40 Mitchell Road. I'm the owner and representative of the Del Monte Hotel down the street. And I just wanted to, I thought I heard someone say that the bed tax issue was off the agenda for today.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great
Oh.
meeting.
Okay, have a good evening. All right,
Dorothy, how many people online? Please.
Well, we just lost one, so 2.
Thank you.
okay, so we're gonna switch around the meeting items tonight because the, excuse me, the first item, the applicant had informed us that they're gonna be a little bit late this evening, so we're just gonna move a few things around. Actually, why don't we look at, yeah, we'll just go right to the online emergency meeting attendance. And thank you, Jeff, for putting together the draft of this. And this is, for those of you who don't know, this is excuse me, an opportunity that many boards have taken into consideration and have implemented in different municipalities when there is an emergency. You're not on vacation, you're not, at the spa. When there is an emergency, to enable to have an elected official participate by video in the meeting. There still, according to this law, has to be a physical presence of a quorum of 3. So again, it's just when there's some type of an emergency, exigent circumstances. So there's a draft of this law here. And also, thank you, Dorothy. I know you reached out, I think it's Webster that,
Yep.
And it's been sort of incorporated into a draft of what their policy guidelines are. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to review those. But I think it's pretty specific. And I think they've had, how long has Webster been implementing this?
2022.
Oh, okay, okay. Have they had any issues with that? Okay. So is there any discussion about this?
Yeah, my own situation notwithstanding, we talked about this after I first got elected. I'm not a big fan of, what do you want to call it, absentee participation at meetings, whether it's residents or it's appointed or elected officials. And you asked me at the time, why would I want to preclude residents from participating in meetings? And it's just that the 30+ years that I've been on boards in various municipalities, there's always been something unique about a resident and the board interacting. And I know COVID came along and it kind of skewed everything for everybody. But I believe, and this is my own belief, when I decided I wanted to try to become an elected official, I made sure that I was going to be able to attend. I rearranged some things. I gave up other meetings. I'm actually supposed to be at a planning board meeting in the town of Rush tonight. But I just feel myself that it's more important that I be here. Now, I understand there's going to be times when people can't come, and that's perfectly understandable. But I know in the town of Pittsford, they've eliminated the remote meetings altogether for all of the boards. I mean, it's, you know, the meetings are being held and the residents are encouraged to attend. So again, my personal opinion is that I want to be here at meetings. Thank you.
Well, that's great. You can attend in person. Any other comments? Any?
I have a question to ask. So if we're looking under definitions of extraordinary circumstances, it's listed as disability, illness, caregiver responsibilities, or any other significant and unexpected factor or event that precludes the member's physical attendance at such meeting. So I guess my question is, who decides whether the excuse for not attending the meeting and needing to be there in Zoom and participate is one of these that's significant enough to excuse that person? Like, who makes the decision?
Well, and I think that's a good question. I also think another question would be, how do you think it would be abused? Like, what would that look like? When we all know that we're elected and we want to serve our community in the best way possible. The flip side of that is, you know, I don't know, has Webster had issues with, you know, in other words, if it has been implemented, I know certainly we have another board that has passed this, it's the HPB, and I've never heard of anything being untoward. So I think, you know, there's two sides to that question. What does it mean to have some sort of exigent circumstance? And what does that look like to have this somehow abused in such a way that we are really doing a disservice as an elected official to our community?
So I'm going to go back to the question I asked. Who decides if there's an excuse that needs to be, somebody needs to stay home and participate on Zoom? Who makes the decision whether it's
Well, I think it's inherent in the law. Jeff, do you want to speak to that? Because if they submit a written note.
The logical answer is the board.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's got to be voted on whether we feel that that person can
It would have to
participate?
be voted on. It would have to be a motion that it's inappropriate for this person to attend
That's our law.
virtually, and if the motion gets a second, it will be voted.
So we would vote on it that night at that meeting.
If there was a question.
Yeah.
There was a question. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that there's any law on that. That seems like the logical route to me.
So there's no real process to determine, where there's no real process besides coming to the board meeting, somebody saying, I feel that that person should be here, and then we'd all have to discuss it and take a vote before the board meeting starts.
If you want, if there is not before the board meeting starts,
During the board meeting.
it would be a matter of business during the board meeting.
So I want to continue my thought. I feel really strongly, we were an elected official. We need to show up 100%. we're not asked to be here more than twice a week at events and special meetings, but it's not a lot to
And maybe
ask.
twice a month.
Twice a month.
Okay.
It's not a lot to ask for us to be here 100%. There is tons of literature, and I could read this. I don't think I need to read it. I think everybody understands that being here in person is way better than being online for a lot of reasons. Transparency, public trust, public participation, efficiency, effectiveness, community cohesion. Just there's so many, and I don't want to bore you with this whole thing. I could if you want me to. There's studies. There are studies that have been done talking about 76 more likely to get distracted during videos or Zoom online presence. If somebody has a true emergency that they cannot be here, then they're not going to be able to show up 100%. I don't care if they're, if their kid has a fever or if their mother fell down the stairs, they can't be here 100% of the time. They need to be here, and they should be here. If they can't be here, then they should just be excused and then just attend the meeting when they can. I just feel strongly that as a resident, I want my elected officials to make this a priority. And if they cannot give 100%, then they need to sit home and deal with their urgent matter.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Dave, did you have any?
Yeah, I just had a couple things.
Mhm.
So I did communicate with NICOM on just a couple questions. One was the standard template question, assuming that it could be modified, and their response to that was, here's a template, but yeah, you can modify it, though most of the procedures included are required by statute. And then the other one was, can you limit the number of times somebody might be able to be remote? And the answer to that was, yes, you can. They found it consistent with open meetings. So those were two questions I had asked to NICOM. Thinking more on it, I just wrote a little thing, and I'll try to be quick in my delivery. But our government is built on connections, neighbors working together to make decisions that directly affect us all. For the 5 of us, I believe that connection is best built face to face. When we meet in person, we bring more of their words to the table. It shows accountability, approachability, and respect for the people we serve. We need to be expressive, we need to be available, and I think we need to be seen. In-person meetings strengthen communication and trust. They allow for the subtle cues, tone, expression, body language that remote meetings often lose. This kind of interaction offers a more effective negotiation, clearer understanding, and I believe better decision-making. As a 5-member board, a single vote can decide an issue, and the presence of that third deciding trustee is critical. Bottom line, they should be in the room, seeing residents, reading faces, hearing voices, feeling the weight of the moment. Remote participation may offer convenience, but convenience can't replace connections. Some might suggest that remote attendance be allowed in extraordinary situations. By law, a quorum must already be present in the room. When the quorum and the decisions are happening in the room, it's not useful, or in my view, appropriate to add a remote participant into that dynamic. The board must function as a unit, not as a hybrid. Most of the trustees are present, let them make the decision together. The process is stronger, the conversation is cleaner, and the accountability is clearer. Remote participation can make sense in emergencies, but not when the issue is significant, divisive, or personal to the community. In those cases, the decision belongs to those who are present and fully engaged, physically as well, the people they represent to be in front of them. I believe any decision by our board should require, for any motion or law to pass, the majority should be physically present. This law does not guarantee that. So let's keep our boards visible, our discussions personal, and our decisions grounded in the community we serve. In-person governance is the foundation of trust and ensures more effective leadership.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay. Any other, Dave, do you have a comment or any comment?
No, I mean, I think this is, it's a microcosm of the same discussion that happens in the country as relates to remote work. You have a lot of corporations who, say we need to bring the workers back into the office. They're not doing the same level of work. Many of those studies found that people were just as productive. Again, as someone who used video conferencing extensively in investment banking, we did multi-billion-dollar transactions via Zoom. You can ask my wife, I was 100% engaged. It was not fun, but I still did it. And yeah, so it's just, again, it's a microcosm of the remote work, come back into the office type of thing. I personally think that we can we can be just as efficient and give just as much, 100% effort to our constituents, even if I'm in front of a computer screen. It's not like I'm playing a video game or something like that. And I don't know, I will say that since I was elected in April, of the board members up here, I'm the only one that's never missed a meeting. So everyone else up here has at least missed one meeting. So say what you will about that.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think opinions really haven't changed even when this was a direction given to our attorney. I do think when you have somebody who is home because they have an exigent circumstance and they're an elected official and they would like to have the opportunity to still participate, and now they are cut out of that because of this. The flip side of that is we lose that voice. We lose that voice even weighing in. And we know certainly we have the technology, and I think at this point, everybody's pretty comfortable with it. So I think there's two sides to this. And I guess, the side I'm looking at is what best serves the community and enables an elected official to participate every single time, no matter what. And I just don't see this being used a lot, frankly. I just think it's like a mechanism, gee, somebody had something come up very unexpectedly, they may be able to participate remotely and weigh in. Now, if we will lose that voice. We know right now, there's already a majority opinion here that let's just lose that voice. So that's my lens, that if we can still have the voice of an elected official, and we know we have the technology and we're comfortable with the technology, I think that's the most important thing. And I think that best serves our community, because now you're allowing all the voices to still participate. So with that being said,
Mayor, can I just make one more statement?
Yep, sure.
If the board member was home, they couldn't participate as a board member, but they're able to Zoom in and listen and voice a concern as a resident, they can still be heard, correct? They're not gonna vote, but they can still
No,
talk
I can't
on behalf,
participate.
they can't say as on behalf of a resident, they
No.
can't make a statement.
No, I can't participate.
and actually, I want to just remind you, because I do recall, I think you were in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you zoomed in and you were not allowed to participate as an elected official.
But I could listen,
As a resident, it could, but not as a
right,
trustee.
as a resident. So if I stay home, I'm still a resident and I'm not gonna vote, but I can chime in on Zoom.
Question
And
is,
they
how
say-
do you differentiate between
Yeah.
a resident and a trustee? Well, it's a pretty fine line.
But I could still speak on behalf as being a resident, correct?
No, not on behalf of residents. You can't.
No, as being a resident myself, I can make a statement as,
I think that in those situations, what you're really doing is you can never take your trustee hat off, even though you'd like to.
I think especially when you're in a trustee meeting.
so, but what I'm saying
don't
is,
know.
on behalf of being a resident, can I just
I don't think you could
voice
ever,
an opinion? Can I voice an opinion?
no, because I don't think you're ever a resident. Once you're a trustee or a trustee. I don't know how you divorce those two. Because whether or not, even if you say, I'm here to speak as a private resident, you really could never do that, because what you're saying has an impact because you're a trustee.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I guess my only statement to that is, as a trustee, you could offer your comments to be read into the record, even though you're not there. So if there's a topic that needs to be heard.
I'm not sure that's true, David.
I could read in all the trustees.
I did it for the,
Yeah, but I don't, when you think about it,
I did it for
that's
the,
the same thing, but I don't think we have this sharp lens on this issue. I think if you think about it, it's just the same as you participating, and maybe even worse, because no one at the table then gets to question what you're saying and have input regarding what you're saying.
In fact, I think it negates actually the case that the three of you made. To somehow you can't, if you can't even come, you can't even participate by Zoom, but somehow you could just put it in writing and that's okay. In other words, I think it somehow goes up against the case that you made.
So I was just responding to your
Yeah.
comment about feedback as to one workaround, and if it's not a workaround, then I don't care,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Trustees should be here, the
Mhm.
majority,
Mhm.
the votes that pass legislation should be in person. And I don't want a contentious legislation passed with somebody who is potentially somewhere else. For me, it's important to be here. That's how I'll vote.
No, understood. Yeah, David, go ahead.
I don't know, I'm just confused. Potentially somewhere else, what does somewhere else?
Not
How does that, no, I get what that means, but how does that impact their ability to opine on the
For everything
situation?
that I had said before.
I guess,
You may disagree in that.
no, I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
confused,
I understand.
so can you elaborate?
No, I'm fine with my position.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, residents.
Okay, so we have, everybody has weighed in on this. So what I'm going to do, because the action this evening was to move this to a public hearing, so I will make a motion to move this to a public hearing.
Second,
Trustee Limbeck,
No.
trustee Marshall,
No.
trustee Coe,
No.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
motion fails.
Nope. Motion fails.
yeah, she said.
Did you say fails? Oh, I thought you said pass. Maybe that was just what I wanted, you know? Okay, all right, so we're going to move on. Do we have our applicant here for the spa body contouring hearing? We do, okay. So then that'll be our next item up. It's a special permit application. Please, oh, hi. Good, welcome. We have pull up a chair here. Sure. There you go. Yeah, so. Okay, so you have a business, yeah. I'm just getting back to the application. The board has reviewed your application. Is there any questions from the board? And could you please introduce yourself and just talk a little bit about your business before actually we get into this?
So I am a non-invasive body contouring spa at 6 South Main Street. I do non-invasive procedures such as red light therapy, laser lipo, and infrared treatments.
Could you explain that to?
Yeah, what-
I don't understand.
what is
Now I have a question.
Okay.
What could you do for me?
Skinny.
I'll be there in 4 months.
Yeah. Sign me up, okay.
Weight management, functions parts of their body, their stomach, thighs, arms. Yeah, so I basically provide non-invasive procedures. Yeah.
Okay.
Body contouring procedures.
Any other comments on the application?
Sounds like there's not a lot of transpiration, chemical use, things of that nature.
Nothing like that, yeah.
Just to reaffirm.
Okay.
Will there be evening hours? I can, maybe, will you have evening hours as well?
So I will be doing, currently I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, like let's say 9 to 5 p.m. And any additional days would be Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't really.
No weekend?
No weekend.
So we don't have the hours on here.
Monday to Friday.
I mean, occasionally that might happen, but usually I try to stick to Monday.
That is a regular
Yeah.
component of your
Yeah,
business.
that's-
Mhm.
Do we have to have hours on here?
But you know, I'm not,
They're secondary.
are they're on the second one, right?
So Monday,
Number
Wednesday,
4.
Fridays.
Here it is.
Is this second
I
or
got it.
first floor or both?
It's down below in
It's
the
down.
open area, yeah,
Okay.
so when you, instead of making, basically you have neutrality and then you go down one level, which is.
Okay.
There used to be a spa there at one time, I remember a while
Yeah.
back, like massage
There
therapy.
is some on massage. Yes.
That was kind of,
When is our next meeting?
November 13th.
And this will be 7 o'clock, are we doing?
6:30.
6:30.
30.
To make a motion to set a public hearing for the 17th, sorry, just
13th.
13th at 6:30.
I second.
13 and 6:30. I'll be here.
Trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, we'll see you
So
then.
you know what a public hearing is, where the public is gonna be able to speak up if they have any issues. So that's what it's for. I mean,
Okay, sure.
you need to be here as well, but I just wanted to let you know what that means.
Yeah, no problem.
And if you-
So November 13 at 6:30.
Yeah, and what I would suggest is that you speak with Steve,
Okay.
okay? And if you can't be here, he could represent you if you need, or you could send somebody just in case, depending on your schedule.
Okay, sure.
Okay, you can work that out. Okay, okay.
Great.
Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Shane Place Boat Docking. And thank you, Peter Goodman, for helping us out with his draft. I think Dorothea sent that out to everybody. Okay. This is just really bringing it before the board. The Canal is going to be closing within 2 weeks. And just so everybody knows, this weekend is the last regatta, the Pull the Plug Regatta, which should be a lot of fun. And I hope it doesn't rain too much. So that's always a good time. So anyway, it's just bringing this to the board. We may want to take a look at it, over the winter, perhaps, when we maybe have a bit more time and that kind of thing. But you can all start weighing in on a few things.
Would this be a good workshop topic?
Yeah, exactly. We could just put it right on there.
Just like it.
Just, looks like it, smells like it, must be.
Working.
So yeah, we'll just add it to the workshop schedule, because this way we'll all have a, opportunity to take a look at it and tweak it. I mean, some of the stuff maybe doesn't apply to us, but, nonetheless.
On
Yeah.
this topic, the town obviously has the registration. To what degree could we just simply lift that and
Use it.
use
It
it?
didn't, I think it was already in there.
Yeah, it is in
Yeah.
here. I mean, but like literally, is there any complaint or concern that what they're doing, we need more of something?
You have to look at it more closely to even respond to that. But you're right. I mean, there's no plagiarism in government.
Right.
So if another municipality is doing something that's pretty good, kind of say, hey, works for us. So
It just.
I think you're right. Why reinvent a wheel?
Why have a policy on one side that's
Mhm.
not the same on the
Mhm.
other? That's something. Like,
Well, they have a few more amenities, I think. That's the only.
okay, so if there might be some
Yeah,
amenity
that's just
differences,
tweaking. That's why the
yeah.
workshop would be good for us.
And then enforcement would be building inspector, code enforcement officer, is that?
Right,
how it works?
that's part of the tweaking. I think he was, just plugging it in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be our code enforcement officer.
So this was Steve's work, first page and a half, 2 pages. Steve?
No,
No?
Peter Goodman,
Peter Goodman,
resident.
our resident, our friend and neighbor.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then he put in Fairports, because Fairport has significant docking activity with amenities, and they actually have a part-time dock master that really manages their waterfront, because they have significantly more activity.
So who is Peter Goodman and why did he do this?
He's
Is he
an
just like
excellent sailor.
a
Yeah.
sailor? Okay, so he's like a boater?
So, yeah,
About
and
the boat
when he
community.
weighed in on, maybe if you would recall, he was online and he said, I can help you with this because I boat up and down the canal.
Great, awesome.
So, yeah, so we're kind of,
Is he on South Main Street,
Mhm.
100?
Yep.
Ish.
Could be.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
Peter.
Would it be advisable, there's been talk of adding restroom facilities and things like that down there. Would this be too much for one workshop, or should we add it to this, do it separately? I don't know what the thoughts are.
Feel like it should be part of it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Throw it in. There we go.
I'm thinking along the lines of the grant too,
Mhm.
come up with some sort of a plan as to how we, look at different things.
Mhm. Absolutely. All part of the workshop. Okay. Well, great. So yeah, we'll tee that up. Thank you. Okay. Next up is the gear fund. I know, yeah.
Before we go to gear, can we do the public hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. We do have the public, the fact that it's down below, I always forget it. So thanks for the reminder. Yep. So let's do the public hearing. It is a local law on lighted village signage. And we have the law in front of us. Okay, is there anything the board wants to say or make a motion to open the hearing?
I make a motion to open hearing. Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay, trustee Wiltz.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
aye,
Trustee Limbeck.
aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the public hearing is now open on this particular agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Is there anyone online maybe who wishes to speak?
We do have a hand raised.
Okay. Name and address.
Peggy Caraveras, 81 South Main. You may speak. Ms. Garaveras, you're able to speak.
Can you unmute or?
You're clear.
Did she unmute? Is she muted?
She's not muted.
Did she leave the room? She could write it in the comments or, write something. I don't know. Write a question?
You have nothing in the Q&A. He is open.
I don't know. Maybe she left the room. Well, maybe, all right, any other comments? I hate it if she wants to speak that we can. Close the room,
Disabled her speaking.
okay,
I don't know what else to do. I don't have a,
unless she hit it by accident?
maybe.
An example of technology failure when we're trying to conduct business.
Yet another reason to upgrade the meeting room. Yep, add that to the list. Okay, well, then it's back.
Oh, a Q&A just came in. Hold on.
Oh, okay, good, okay.
Something unmute. I'm gonna try letters speaking it.
Okay,
You should be able to speak. Unmute yourself. You're muted.
she's muted. Oh,
Oh, she's unmuted. She should be able to
okay,
speak.
Peggy, are you there? I'm in Rangoon. I don't know. Did she write anything then?
Oh, something.
A comment, perhaps?
Okay, her question is internal lighting confused.
Oh. Yeah, here, our legal counsel will speak to that in terms of how it's presented in the law.
So in the MVC, internally lighted signs 10 inches high and 12 inches wide should be permitted on the facade of business which facade faces a public street, provided that such facade is at least 150 feet distant from a public street. So internally lighted 10 by 12 facade facing the street, provided that facade is 150 feet distant from the public street.
Mayor, may I speak?
Yes.
So Peggy, I think what might help you to understand this is that our concern was seeing these light up signs in windows along, in the business district. And
Internally lit.
internally lit. So
internally.
internally lit means they kind of light up, like the open signs that light up, as compared to a sign that says open, and then a light from the outside is shining in on the sign, which is kind of like our traditional signs that we pass through HPV, are signs that can be lit from like a booth lamp or from something that's lit from the outside. So we had people come in from businesses in Northfield Commons, and they were concerned because they are so far from the street that many times they lose business because people will walk over the bridge to see if they're open, and if they can't see the sign lit up open that far from the street, they won't come, and they lose a lot of customers that way. So that's where the 150 feet from public way came in. We added that in. So therefore, that means that businesses that are right along like State Street and North Main Street, that are close to the street,
South Main.
and South Main, right, and South Main will not be able to have signs that light up internally, like the big open sign or lit open sign. But the people down on Northfield Commons will be able to.
And
So
also
that's what
Northfield
it is.
Common, the businesses in Northfield Common do not front a public sidewalk. That is a private area, privately held area. So it's a different circumstance.
And that's why we made
Yeah.
accommodations for them down there.
Yeah, I hope that helps to sort of explain that a bit. Thanks for that,
Mhm.
Lisa. Yeah, any other?
She stated, I thought it related to Northfield. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Any other comments from the public?
No.
Their motion?
Close the public hearing.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I second.
Roll call.
Okay, trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes,
Aye.
trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the matter's back before the board. Is there any further discussion?
The attorney has a
Yep,
disclosure to make.
okay.
He prepared the short form seeker and did not send it to the clerk, sitting
Oh,
back on his computer. So we really ought to do that before we pass the
we
law.
should.
So that could happen next meeting. I'll get it to
We can, I'm sorry, what was that?
you. We can do it next meeting.
Okay, okay. So if the clerk can make a note of that.
Apologize.
So we can't vote on it until the next meeting.
Without doing secret.
So the public meeting is officially closed, so that means that, does public say anything then now? Like from now until we vote again?
No.
No, okay, no, we're good. So,
So the answer to that is you have a public comment period at the beginning of each meeting.
mhm.
They can talk, but it's not part of the record. of the
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
point. Thanks for that. Okay. What's next?
Your fund.
Gear fund, yeah. So the gear fund, we did have some discussion on that. The gear fund is a fund that's over 100 years old, established by the Gear family, who, they were Pittsford residents, village residents. And I think you'll see in the packet that it was, for indigent families. So, we're bringing it back to the board. We had, a number of ideas and suggestions, and I know, Jim, you weighed in as well, and thank you for that. So here we are. It's $6,000. It's not a lot of money, and, we kind of want to get it off the books and make sure it can be used in some way. That's a good thing. I have sort of been rethinking it myself because I know with, like, for example, today at the federal level, there's no more SNAP program. And that's a big concern. And I know it's going to affect our community and the community that the food cupboard serves. It's not just Pittsburgh, but the greater community around. So I'd like the board to just consider, the food cupboard does a great job. They've done it for decades. And just to say, here's $6,000, whether you use it for a freezer, whether you use it for other needs or directly for food, here we are. And I think it honors the intention of the original fund as described. That's just, I'm just putting it out there, just
Yeah.
I
because
think
we're,
that is
Thank you for
Sometimes.
reconsidering
an
that.
excellent
okay,
choice.
okay.
So do we have to make a motion to,
So hang on, any other discussion from the board?
That-
Everybody?
That was my,
Okay,
Try
I think, we're
that
all seeing what's
factor,
going on.
Great.
Yeah. So how about a motion?
so I make a motion to offer the food cupboard, our gear fund of $6,000.
Can I just have it be?
Whatever amounts in the fund.
Yeah,
The amount.
The amount.
5,200 and
The
change.
full
I
amount-
can't
The
give you.
full amount of the gear
Amount
fund,
of the
There
gear
you
of the
fund.
gear fund,
Yeah.
go to the Pittsford.
Oh,
David.
Okay,
David
trustee
for the
Coe,
win.
right,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes,
Aye.
trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next up is,
You all.
oh,
Thanks.
that's great.
Thanks,
Yes, thank
Jim.
you. Thanks for your input too, and your support. Okay, next up is the Records Management Program. We're excited about this because our wonderful archivist did receive the grant.
1 second, she was going to join us.
Oh, she wanted to join us, I think, if there were any specific questions about this, about implementing this and what this looked like. So we're just gonna give it a minute and she'll be brought on board here. Yeah.
So while we're waiting for her, I'll just.
Do you want to give the background of this and just kind of what?
As we discussed, Laura applied for a grant with New York State Archives, and in the past, we have had a records grant program management plan. We don't know what that plan was, we could see located, it was probably very simplified. Laura went back and reapplied, took the standards from the New York State and kind of put it into a form related to the village of Pittsburgh. with some of the things we like in there, some of our policies and new thoughts related to the records. It's really good for us to have an adopted policy as we move forward, and Laura just joined us, so. Laura, you're able to speak, so unmute yourself.
Evening.
Oh, hi, Laura. Are you there?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dorothy is just sort of giving us the background on the
Okay.
program. Yeah.
So with doing that, as we move forward, what we're doing is giving this to you now. We're hoping to put this forward and adopt it. And obviously, I know it's a lot to review. And if you have any changes or anything, this is the first blush, you know, at looking this. As we're going through with our records grant, we want to make sure we have an adopted program to go along with it that's current and reflects the current needs of our records. As well as knowing that we're moving forward with that grant, we'll be looking at part-time assistance for Laura, which is covered by the grant to help pay to get this project done. Laura, do you want to add anything?
That pretty much sums it up. I mean, this is important because of the born digital approach we're taking, which is what we received the grant based on. So you want to get all of those ducks in a row and have it, you know, in place as we're moving forward. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. A lot of this dovetails into some other things we have going on, like cybersecurity and our website being updated to .gov. They all kind of are interconnected.
So this is an opportunity then to really digitize and streamline
Yes,
and put in place a more current and effective policy.
sure.
And you may want to speak to as well, you know, it's important that every municipality properly archives and catalogs and digitizes its records. It brings us into compliance, obviously, with New York state law, but we also want to know where everything is. So this is a good thing.
What happens to the physical records after they're digitized?
There's two thoughts when it comes to records. Now, there's certain records you never get rid of, like building records. I would never in a million years destroy a building record. Human resource record, I would destroy. As long as we have this full digital copy, and the reason I say that, you could have an employee, they could leave you in 1 to 2 years. Although we hate to see that, but you're going to keep that record for 50 years.
Yeah.
Why am I going to want to keep 10 pieces of paper for 50 years? I'd rather digitize that and make that the permanent record. So in this policy, what we are going to be looking for from the board is a determination that a digital record could be the permanent record, but you would pick the categories that would affect. You'd never do a building, you'd never do maps, plans. You would really dictate that down. As well in the policy we're building in, and this is recognizing that records start now in the digital world.
Yeah.
And we should have the digital copy. And there is no reason when plans and different things come into the village that record isn't already digitized.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
this policy addresses that as well with guidelines for how records are submitted to the village moving forward, so that we are leaning into this born digital approach and not piling more and more paperwork on our already overwhelmed archive, essentially.
The second part of my question then, for the paper copies that we do have to save, the important ones, the books, the records, whatever they are, do we have plans for secure storage? Because you've got some up in the attic, which, you know, you've got some down in the basement, which we know flooded already.
No, we don't have any records.
There's nothing in the basement.
My point is that I think we should also look at the records that we do have to maintain. How are we going to store them?
We actually do have a secondary storage location.
And it's in a fireproof building,
Well, where's that at?
the Lom House.
Mom house, I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
We did after the fire.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to that also. The Lom House is a fireproof building. And the school district, as you know, owns the building, and they have their archives there as well as I believe there may be some from the town, because it is in a fireproof facility. So the records, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laura or Dorothea,
Mhm.
records that we have here are really ones that we know that we sort of need to immediately access or are too sensitive
Absolutely.
off premise, that we should really retain them here.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we utilize law more? Yes, you know,
Yeah.
because our record creation is faster than we can store upstairs.
Mhm.
One of the concerns why we move things too long is the weight capacity of the building. When we had the fire, we had
Engineers come in.
engineers come in and look at it, and they made recommendations. So we, as you know, go upstairs, it's totally laid out different than when you were here. Is because of the weight of the station. We wanted it against the walls. So without looking at our attic area, which would have to be totally changed.
It would have to
It's
be.
not the environment for records. And unfortunately, we do have records, and whether I like it or not. We need to look at both areas.
Just so long as it's being considered, I'm fine.
No, it is being
Idea.
considered, and that's another reason why digitizing everything is important.
And
as well.
that's why we applied for the grant. That's why we're trying to move this forward, to get, to make sure that we're always, utilizing best practices and most current practices.
And we, when the question will come up, yes, we do have a digital program with records right now. That program is not working the way we would like.
Well, and that's also an outdated program.
It is very outdated. It's
Yeah.
very cumbersome. And that is one thing, even with the grant, the state agreed with us that we really do need to upgrade the total software. So this isn't just on one level, it's a whole thing. And it might even require taking some of the digital records that were scanned and rescanning them, because the scans weren't done, I don't want to say done right. They were lacking
They're done
clarity.
differently.
Yeah, it doesn't really meet the standards we
So just a question for you on the HR records that you're receiving right now.
Mhm.
The vast majority of those, I would assume, you're using like a legal Zoom, or excuse me, some sort of electronic signature program for.
No. Mm-mm.
No, okay. This
No.
whole-
I have paper. I
Okay,
have paper.
okay.
I have
So it's
paper.
I'm assuming part of this plan is to,
Yeah,
upgrade that to
everything,
be-
well, we haven't looked at that, to be honest. I don't
Okay.
have,
Why don't we,
that's not a tool we've had in the past, but that's something, welcome for the
because like
suggestion.
onboarding, I would assume would be the perfect thing to do electronically.
I would love to be an
That was
electronic, but
perfect.
right now it is.
so the action tonight
It's just,
is you're introducing
Correct.
what we're going to be working on internally
Mhm.
moving forward and bringing things back to the board. Because this really is an important component of managing a municipality. And so it behooves us to kind of at least get our arms around all of this and where we're going with this.
And we didn't want to throw it at you and expect an adoption, because
Yeah,
that's the worst
it's a few moving parts.
tool we have.
Okay.
So we want to, you look at it, we'll bring it back when we have another draft. If you have suggestions, please email me or Laura, primarily Laura. She's the brains behind the document and understands it. And then
This is the first step.
this is just the first discussion. So
Beginning.
we'll look for an adoption of this in January.
Yeah.
One other thing before Laura gets off the phone, I would like to recognize her tonight and thank her again for, pursuing this grant. You're 1-0 right now, Laura, so.
I know.
you stand-
Great.
Batting 1,000.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much, Laura. You have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that's good. And, at least we now sort of have an understanding of where we're going with this. Okay, where are we now? Next up, we're at administrative matters. Treasurer's report, please.
You're at me, right?
We are, we're cruising.
Give me 1 second.
Yep.
I gotta take care of all the paper.
See, it's that paper thing again.
Yeah. Okay, well, he's muttering.
He is
Okay,
muttering.
we'll start with the bill pay. Is there any questions?
Any
with regards to the bills? There was really nothing significant. You will see that there's some prepays in here that the board authorized Lake Hungate. That check hasn't been delivered because I haven't received final certified paperwork from Farrow, so I've been following up on that again.
Could I just ask, that's the front,
That's the front.
Yeah.
and it's been seemingly at a standstill for a while.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wanna
You wanna
give-
explain?
Yeah, sure. My favorite word. The plinths are ordered.
Oh,
Yeah, and those are the bases for the columns.
okay.
And they're being fabricated because everything, it's not a rehabilitation, it's a restoration.
This is the approvals that we gave last time.
Yep,
Right.
yeah.
So is
So
there a timeframe? Is this?
they're- everything should be done before candlelight night, let's put it that
All
way.
right,
Yeah, that's where we're going.
That's
all right.
Yeah,
That was
That's our goal.
yeah, that's
wrongly,
where we're going.
wrongly worded. And
Yeah, and we're really kind of riding herd on it, so, yeah, because once the parts are in, then they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Everybody's, ready to just pull the trigger and just make it happen, so.
While on bill pay, I know we had conversations with regards to the Casella bill pay last time.
Mhm.
Is there an update there that we should extend out to folks?
We issued out constant contact, one of our newsletters to the residents, and if they're having any issues, please fill out the form that they received, or, if they can't do that, call the office. We
That
are,
was good, by the way.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
in other words, everybody knows we've been having tremendous issues with Casella, and the town has too.
Sure.
I mean, absolutely amplified by the town. But, so we just said, we just have to help directly at this point. These, our residents are being put on hold. I call it being put on ignore. So the staff's really kicked in, and thank you, because you guys have all stepped up and have been just really riding herd and bringing about resolution.
How
So
many
what-
responses have we got?
Oh, many.
we're almost 25 residents
Yeah.
have reached out to us, and all those queries, all those concerns have been passed on to Casella through our contact. He has indicated to me that all those have been taken care of as of today. So whatever I sent him today is new, except for one resident, which he's trying to figure the workaround. I will be reaching out to the residents to make sure that they've been satisfied.
We're calling every single
Great.
resident personally
Great.
to make sure, just because Casella said it's resolved,
Right.
do they feel that it is resolved appropriately and properly on their end?
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So that's,
Yeah.
Okay.
this is what we needed, you take care of your community, and this is where we are,
They
so.
never took mine and I got 2 new ones.
Ooh,
You're gonna sell your other one?
I don't make that much garbage.
If
Now you can.
If you
Facebook
have somebody who
Marketplace, that's
needs
what I'm
one of
saying.
these smaller size recycling bins, they drop one off to fix an issue that didn't exist. So just give them my contact information and I can put it by the road, they can pick it up, or I can wheel it down.
If you guys have
I
extras,
called
just,
them and they said it would be 7 to 8 days.
no,
just email me.
no.
Please email me.
You just want me to email you and
Residents,
say I have an
residents
extra one?
include elected officials, so
Yeah.
if you have
Email
a
me.
problem,
I was told by the attorney that I can never be a resident again.
it's so much faster for us.
It's only with the village.
Really send it to me, because
So much
I'm not
faster.
saying I can get it picked up faster, but I think I am getting it picked up faster.
Oh, you
I'm not
are.
Making promises.
Sure.
Right now I have someone that's listening.
She has a guy,
All
she's
right,
got a
good,
guy,
Good, okay.
yeah,
While he's listening,
I'll let you know I have an extra bin.
please do.
All right.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And we're still holding that check until we're satisfied.
Okay,
things are-
that was what it pertained to bill pay. So-
I'm still holding. You will see, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Hang on, yeah, just one quick thing. The reason why we want you to actually make a contact is that we're following it as a case.
Yeah.
And we need to log it into the system. Okay, that's, that way we really can
Okay.
track.
Yep. The Casella you see in the bill pay is the village's garbage pickup,
That's just us,
because we're not part of the
Got it.
refuse district.
Okay, fair enough.
because we're commercial.
Okay,
All right,
all right.
what
So-
else? Or else is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the bill pay as presented.
Second?
Okay, trustee Cove,
Hi.
trustee Lindbeck,
Aye.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, what's next?
2026 healthcare. So
Yeah,
there's not much I can say to healthcare. I recommend the plan. We stay with the plans that we're currently offering the employees. I've reviewed the plans. There is a substantial increase, and I think we had planned ahead with the budget. And I'm glad we did, because we're teetering about just under 19.5% on the increases. there was
Oh,
a
this is every municipality, we all know everybody's getting hit. This is.
little under in the 7.5 for the copay.
Yeah,
Dental, I love dental, it's under 3%,
yeah.
and our senior plan was under 10%. So it is significant, but
But you factored it in pretty much, I think in the budget, what was it, 17, 16?
I think I
I mean,
was
it was
in
pretty
that
close,
high
so-
range, and I know, I
We
went,
knew
I
we
mean,
were gonna get hit.
Yeah, insurance across the board has been 15 plus.
Oh, yeah,
it was expected, I think they asked for 25% when they went to the state.
he
It
did.
did get knocked down, but I wish it could have got knocked down more.
Well.
But this is where we're at, so if the board approves this, we can move forward with continuing the current healthcare plan, and we'll be updating the employees as to what the plan this year
Sure.
provides, which is usually the same thing. There's always a minor tweak here and there. As I said, there was an increase in the copay.
So you just need a motion.
I need a motion to go ahead and get this all set up. with
To
the
approve
health-
it.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 healthcare plan as current plan as presented.
Second,
Okay, that was.
Okay,
a-
trustee
You gonna give it
Wills,
to John?
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
John, put it
trustee
in.
Limbeck,
aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye,
Motion passes.
okay.
With that, I do have a little addition because, I was bored. I have 3 new employees that started September and October. I need authorization to go ahead and fund their HSA plan.
Yeah,
As per what we do is if it's a certain amount for the year, I break it by 12 and I only fund the months that they're here.
I'll make a motion that Dorothea be allowed to fund the HSA plans of new employees per the village's policies.
I second.
number 5.
Okay, trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Real quick, Craig Prince gave us a bid bond. And I need to refund it because it was for the bid. It wasn't a bond for the completion of the project. So he would like to get his money back, and Scott told me I should be refunding it. So that was 292,000. So if I can have authorization to reimburse this.
I'll make a motion to reimburse the $292,000 to Craig Prince.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. What else?
Don't give me too long, I'll think of something. No, that's it. I think I'm done.
Do you have any DPW report or any building inspector report?
This is our second meeting of the month.
So we don't have it.
No.
Okay, because I was gonna ask, I could ask you maybe directly, everything. Do we know what's going on with Copperleaf? Because people have been asking me, I know that when they came in June, they were all excited to start. Remember, they
Yeah.
wanted to start before the food, and I don't see anything going on.
I haven't heard anything. I can reach out to.
Yeah, Steve was gonna
Stephen
circle
Morgan.
back on
okay.
that. Yeah,
I was
because he was
surprised. I thought
wondering
they'd be
too.
up and going. This is a good.
Yeah, they had all full
Yeah,
go
I know. Okay.
and nothing.
So that'll be an action item, please.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, what else? Oh, trustee liaison reports.
We have to run to the minutes first.
Yeah, minutes.
We can do the minutes. Let's do the minutes.
Okay.
First up, August 12th. Any questions, comments? Or is there a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 12th, 2025 as submitted.
John, you were absent.
I will assume John's motion.
Well,
Unless you could have videoed in. Oh, sorry.
Second, Mr. Motion.
It was just wide open.
Okay, I think we're ready for a vote. Trustee
We are.
Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. I apologize, there was another set of minutes, I totally missed it in that, so.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that next time. Okay. Next up are the trustee liaison reports.
Did I see that we're gonna have an attorney-client session after this? Is that correct?
We are.
So then I'll just,
Okay,
thank you.
okay.
Um, Nothing from the Arboretum, only because I know they're working on stuff
Okay.
with regards to 501c3.
Okay,
I think everything got moved forward with regards to some house cleanup, so it was great. And then there's a meeting in a few short weeks.
all right.
And what I'd like to make sure for the next board meeting or workshop, doesn't bother me which, I want to start the conversation of permitted activities. And I'd also like to get on the calendar in January or February. January is probably preferable. The charrette for the planning of the arboretum, short, intermediate term type of planning.
Okay, let's put that on the action item list. Okay, thank you.
I think
All right.
probably Dave, I probably should also say that Dave and I and the Arboretum friends have decided that Dave's going to kind of take primary liaisonship because I'm going to be working very closely with HPB. There's a lot of things that I'm going to work with them, orientation packets, design guideline changes. So I'm a little kind of full there, and Dave's agreed to kind of take more of the Arboretum. So, and the
Okay.
friends have approved that as well.
Well, we would approve it, actually.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
we
happy.
we do, because we're the municipality. Okay, John, anything?
I've actually got 4 things and I'll be as quick as I can. I talked with Paul Schenkel, the Commissioner of Public Works, and I asked him where we stood with the State Street median.
Oh, yeah. thank you.
And that was budgeted for this year, and they ran into a snag with New York State. Their work order, they had to identify contractors and some other things that was going to really shift this out. So I think some funds got reappropriated for things that they could do, but first thing in the spring is it's back on.
It's still on the
Yeah.
docket.
Oh, they're getting the work permit from the state. That's all, and it just took longer than we thought.
Okay.
So,
Can I just interject one
Yeah.
quick thing, just so people understand? This is a project that we initiated my first year in office. It's part of our joint active transportation plan between the village and the town for traffic calming measures at going out of State Street or coming into State Street. So on the town line, right there in village line is going to be a painted median, a visual cue that it's a densely trafficked area. And then right by Wood Creek, there's going to be a raised median with a left-hand turn lane going into Wood Creek with a full, we call it pedestrian refuge, so you can safely cross over because there's trails on the other side, just so people understand what that's like. Okay, thanks, John.
the second thing Paul brought up is he understands, he's been talking with Jason about Sutherland Street. And he and Jason, well, actually, some of the DPW folks for the town are working with Jason to look at shared services and whatnot. And he also said that there's probably a dozen open contracts right now throughout the county where we could piggyback for curbing, for sidewalks, for paving, for the whole shooting match. So we don't have to go back through that engineering process again. So I just want to keep that at the forefront.
And Jason's working on that.
Yeah, Jason and I talk every week and, just make sure we keep comparing notes. I sent a note out earlier this week. Did you get my letter about 75 Monroe?
I don't know that I did.
I sent an email out a couple of times. And
John, I'm sorry if I missed it.
No, I haven't heard from Dan Spitzer either yet. And
Did you include Dorothea on all the
I
communication?
did.
Please always
Okay.
include on every single communication
So
as a matter of record.
I'm going to call Dan and
Okay,
see where he's at, because this is a process we put together to greatly enhance the inspections that are going on at the process down there if they expect their certificate of occupancy, because right now I would be of the persuasion that I would not issue a certificate.
yeah, we could
based
maybe
on
talk
what
about
they've
that
done.
part. Yeah.
And then the last thing, have you had a chance to talk with Jared yet about the planning board process?
I have not heard back from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I haven't
so-
either, and
okay.
I'm still trying to get
I
that
know,
going, so,
I know. So we'll,
okay. That's all I've got.
okay. All right. Okay, any other member item?
None for me.
The only thing I have is that I saw the beautiful leaf truck out on the streets. It's great.
I know,
I
we
love
love
it.
the leaf truck.
So if you have not provided your potential name for the truck, make sure you go to the website and log an entry.
Did you see it in action or just?
Oh, I saw it. It was in front of my house. My son was freaking out.
I know, and the DPW crew, like, they all like, can I take it out? Can I take, everybody's so excited to use it, so.
They kind of
Yeah.
stopped it on the side of the street and we're just moving the
I
joystick around.
I know, it's pretty cool. Great,
Do you folks know what we're talking about?
New sweeper?
yeah, the new leaf truck,
Oh.
leaf eater.
Yeah, we have a new leaf truck.
We had an employee that was brushed by a vehicle last year, with the process that we have. And this new vehicle that we bought, you don't need that whole crew. The guy sits over the joystick and he's got a big arm.
Wonderful.
Just sucks and chaps.
Vacuum or?
Yes.
It's a big vacuum.
You can
It's not only a vacuum internally, there's also a shredder, so we have instant mulch. Yep, so we're saving that because now we can reuse it and recycle it back into our community. And it's far more efficient, with fuel even. So it's just great, and it's just so increased productivity and safety for the most part. Yeah.
Historically, it was a 4-person job. And again, that's how somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
Now it's technically, you could have a 1-person job.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's really nice.
Down in East Jefferson this afternoon, or actually, I think late morning, 4 hours after you did the normal Monday pickup. And within 4 hours of that pickup, one of the lawn maintenance guys put a big leaf pile out. So 4 hours later, you guys are down there picking up the leaves, so
They're on the case.
it's gonna be moving.
yeah,
It's great. It's really great. Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, okay, so I have a member item, and this was, and we've already sort of are working on it internally. There's real issues with traffic on South Street running the stop signs.
On where?
South.
South.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
The new staff rates.
The new one. Okay.
yeah, and so.
Yes.
It's, we're really looking at additional layers of safety measures there. One of the things is they've already trimmed back the tree branches around the stop signs because there was a little issue with that. Jason, I know, is looking into doing, it is a lighting effect around stop signs. You probably have seen it in other communities. And what it does is it's a visual cue way ahead of you seeing, coming up to the stop sign, you see something sort of blinking and you realize that it's a cue again to slow down and stop. We're also going to be meeting with first responders because we may be looking at some type of a very low level, almost like on chain place, but perhaps a bit lower speed table. So again, it's a cue and you have to slow down a bit. But we always have to vet that with our first responders just to make sure, we're not impinging on any response time. Yes, we have a question. Name and address, please.
Jim White, 11 East Jefferson Circle. I will say, I was trying that stop sign a little over a week ago, and I tried that street probably twice a day, 6 days a week. Been in the way, and last week DPW guy would say, and I'm colorblind, if you had that light around it,
It would be a cue.
that would help.
Thank you for that.
I'm sure the height of the sign is by regulation.
It is.
I think it's about 1.5 feet too high.
Okay, we'll have them
It's
check.
above the line of sight.
Okay.
Just start watching it, see what anybody else sees. but-
Thank you. Dorothea, can we make that an action item to check the proper height of the stop sign? Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Actually, on that point, is there a way to talk to Jason about the tree trimming on West Jefferson before you get to the school?
100%.
Because the school flashing thing is right now, it's covered by a tree as you're coming.
Oh, that might be in the town, but we can alert the town. Let's put it down as an action item. And we could probably do it just to help out the town anyway, but we would let them know before we cut their tree. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll circle back on that. Appreciate that. Yeah, anything like that, please just let us know. Give us a holler if you're seeing, sometimes they don't always catch, the overgrowth on certain things. So appreciate that. Okay, that's it for member items. I make a motion that we go into attorney-client session.
Second.
What do we need?
Can we end and then do it?
That's my question.
Oh, we'll end the meeting then. Yeah, I was thinking it was
Yeah,
executive,
yeah.
but it isn't. Okay, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
I didn't go all the
Everybody's-
way.
Yeah.
Okay, trustee Lindbeck,
All right.
trustee Phillips. Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye,
Motion passed.
okay, and then we're gonna just go break into my, we can go to my office.
Thanks for being here, you guys.